Okay, everybody, welcome. This is our first submental warm sculpting demonstration we're doing here. My name is Vic Owak. Hello. To the side here, I'll be narrating. We've got Lisa Materi, Lauren Thompson, and Rebecca. And the whole thing will probably be about maybe 10 minutes. She's already set up and ready to go. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to you, Lisa.
Well, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're very excited. As Vic said, we're doing a warm sculpting demonstration today of the submental area. Warm sculpting is also known as SculpSure, so not to confuse anything. And warm sculpting is actually lipolysis. That's the technology. And what we're doing is we're using a 1060 wavelength laser, which is a diode laser, to raise the temperature of the adipose tissue, the adipocytes, and we raise that to a point where they are compromised, eventually destroyed, and then processed through the body. So this is permanent fat reduction. And let me point out as well, not only is this FDA cleared for permanent fat reduction, it's also FDA cleared for skin tightening. So you're getting a double bam here for your money when you're doing the warm sculpting. So our patient here today had a little bit of adipose tissue, that little, kind of extra little area that we all want to get rid of. And she had a little bit of loose skin. So this is really going to benefit her because she's going to reduce the adipose tissue as well as tighten the skin. So this procedure takes a whole 25 minutes. We have a minute and a half of build, and then the remainder 23 and a half minutes is actually at the fat destroying area where we want you to be. So Lauren has hooked up our patient. Lauren, do you want to kind of go over what you're doing today?
Of course. So as everyone can see, I went ahead and got her hooked up. We have a couple of little sensors that shows us that she's properly hooked up to this machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get her started. During this treatment, I can only get a thumbs up or a thumbs down. No talking, unfortunately, just to make sure that everything stays intact. Are you all set to go? Okay, we're going to get you going. In these first couple of minutes, you'll actually feel a cooling sensation. That cooling sensation will then start to gradually turn to heat. I always tell everybody to envision that heating sensation as destroying the fat. So it's a little bit of a mind game while you're sitting here.
And the thing too with this laser is that the handpiece or the frame actually has a gold bezel, which has chiller fluid that runs throughout the bezel. So what that's doing is that's protecting your skin the entire treatment. There's a sapphire crystal in the middle, and that's where the laser laces in and out. So it does feel hot, and sometimes people will question, what's going on here? It's really hot. Keeping in mind that your skin is completely protected the entire time because of the gold bezel and the chiller fluid.
Doing good. So what's amazing too about this technology is we actually have the 10 centimeter, and then also we have our other one that is the 14 centimeter. So we actually have two different sizes for different patients. So we can really customize this treatment for our patients.
So what she should be feeling is she'll go through intervals of cool to warm heating. And again, the laser laces on and off, so it's not a consistent heat. So it makes it very comfortable for the patient.
So we had our first question, and that is how many treatments are required typically?
We always recommend doing 2 treatments. It really depends upon the patient, how much adipose tissue there is. But we always like to start with 2 treatments. So we do 2 treatments. You start to see your result at 6 months. You get to your final. It is safe to treat at 30 days. So keep in mind that your final result, if you are going to, will be post 12 days post your second treatment.
And that little beacon that you heard just showed us that we're actually moving on to the consistent heat and cooling duration of the treatment.
So Rebecca, are you feeling a heat, prickly, tolerable?
You can also see while this is going on, I'll be going through some before and after pictures on the screen in the background. You can see they're kind of animated. All of the ones that I'm showing are manufacturer before and afters and after 2 treatments.
And again, to point out, FDA cleared for skin tightening. This is the only device for permanent fat reduction in the submental area that actually has clearance for tightening. That's a fantastic bonus, because not only are you reducing the adipose tissue, but you want to make sure that you tighten that skin as well.
Doing great. I'm just watching her today, see how she's doing. A lot of patients too, when they come in, they ask if they can use their cell phones, if they can do any work. Unfortunately, during this treatment itself, we can't. But what's nice is we always have a little Netflix playing for patients, catch up on some great shows if you need to. So that's always a good one.
So after the treatment, again, the treatment is only 25 minutes long. You'll feel tender to the touch. We ask you to do massaging about 1 to 2 times a day for several days following the treatment. You might develop nodules, that's very common. We just want you to help massage that, get the lymphatic system going. But basically, you can leave here and go back to work, go back about your business. There's really absolutely zero downtime.
So there was another question was submitted earlier, and I think you may have answered it, but to be clear, any bruising or redness or any visible signs as soon as she leaves here that she's had this treatment?
Well, we always tell patients there's always a risk of bruising, but we do at the time of consultation, we'll ask you to stop your ibuprofen, fish oil, aspirin, vitamin, supplements that within the blood that will always decrease the risk of bruising. There's always a risk of slight bruising, slight swelling, tenderness to the touch. Some people, some patients do, and some people don't. Some people walk out here and you can't tell at all that they've done it.
Okay. Awesome.
Maybe, Rebecca, can you give us a number of how you feel right now?
1 to 5, 5 being the most discomfort. Okay, so she's probably in one of those weeks. So again, you should start seeing results, it's about 6 weeks, and then you get to your final result in 12 weeks.
And again, you can see in the background there are some pictures. Again, these are all from the manufacturer. You can find these at sculpture.com/real-self. If you want to take a look at the pictures over there, we'll also be sending out a link to everybody that's been on this event. I had a question that came in. How long do the results last? So let's say that I have my 2 treatments. How long will these last? Is it something you have to come back, or you should come back, or once the fat is gone, it's completely gone forever? How would you answer that question?
So, the number of fat cells that we have were determined at adolescence. We don't duplicate fat cells. We don't decrease them. The only way you're going to get rid of fat cells permanently is if you're doing something like this. It's a permanent fat reduction procedure, right? Mm-hmm. So we're doing this procedure. We're taking volume out. Of course, if you gain weight, you still have existing fat cells that are going to expand, right? You lose weight and they contract. So the number of fat cells that you have will always be reduced. So it's permanent. Keep in mind, if you start eating Twinkies and you're not working out, and you're eating a very high caloric diet, you're going to see volume start to accumulate in that area again. Not the amount that you had originally, but there is volume that will go there. So as long as you maintain the results, you'll have them forever.
We had another question come in. Can you compare and contrast this to cold sculpting, which we also did for the submental area, and also Kybella? When would one be recommended over the other?
That's a good question, and it really requires a consultation because everybody is so different, right? So fat's different. Some people have loss of elasticity, some people don't. Some people have very bulky adipose tissue. We always say cool sculpting is great for that really heavy, bulky fat. WarmSculpting or SculpSure is great for someone that might not have as much. I'm pretty sure you can do it if you have a lot, but you're going to get some tightening out of it. So it really depends upon the patient. Kybella is the same. Maybe there's not enough sat there to do one of these procedures, maybe we're not making full contact with either full sculpting or SculpSure, and then Kybella would be a great option as well. So again, keep in mind, we really customize our treatments for our patients. We have many, many different treatments that we can do. Is we don't just put everybody in the same box. So we really customize. So that consultation, so we can evaluate, touch it, feel it. But we have a treatment for everybody. So it just really depends on the person.
Thank you.
Still breathing through and relaxing for her treatment.
She's meditating now.
She's doing great.
She's going to the meditative state.
Yeah.
How many minutes are we into them?
At this point, we have 16 minutes left.
Okay, so we're
So
already.
we're about 6.5, 7 minutes in.
What I'm going to do while this is going to go on, we're going to probably finish up in a minute here. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen with what you see in the background. And so you can see some of these animations.
Yeah, so these are all after 2 treatments, 12 weeks post that second treatment. They're very impressive.
They are.
Very, very impressive.
I feel like you can definitely see where that laser starts a little bit too, as far as getting some more of that tissue retraction.
And again, these are SculpSure.com under real/results.
So I definitely can see that this is a great treatment for men and women. I would just let men know too, as you can tell, these men have come in cleanly shaven. So definitely, if you do decide to do something like this, it would be good to just make sure you shave before you come in, so then the laser will have full contact.
And we ask you to make sure that you're nice and hydrated before your treatment. So you don't want you to come in after you've been out drinking the night before. And then obviously drink much, more liquids than you typically would water afterwards. You want to help those fat cells get flushed through your lymphatic system and released. There's not many contraindications for this procedure. Unfortunately, the only patients we would not be able to treat would be if you were breastfeeding, pregnant. There's a gold therapy treatment that they did back in the 70s for rheumatoid arthritis. You typically don't recommend people that had it done because they'd probably be in their 90s by now. But there are really no contraindications.
Okay, I don't have any other questions. Anything else that you guys would like to close with? Rebecca, how are you doing?
Well, so the price, we're actually doing a really great promotion. We're taking 25% off of the original price right now for the SculpSure or WarmSculpting for the submental area. So the regular price is $1,000, and we're with 25% off at $750. So it's a great value. It is a limited time, so I don't know how long that promotion is going to go on. So if you're interested, please give us a call. We'll do a consultation and take advantage of that pricing.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Especially thank you, Rebecca. We really appreciate it. And this will be on the website and sent out to you also during via social media. Bye-bye.